Hello, here's Vanessa from the Gingerbread Cottage here in Victoria, British Columbia. And today we're going to do something really, really special. I do cook quite a bit with very good pork lard. And today I'm going to render some fantastic lard that I got from a farm here on Vancouver Island. They're friends of mine and they raise them free range and grain fed and all that. So that's the pork lard you want to have. You don't want to buy it anywhere else. You want to have a real good source. And today I'd like to talk to you about two different lards. They come from two different parts of the body. And unfortunately, I only have one part, like that's from under the skin. And that's the regular pork lard, what people understand on the pork lard. And we will take the skin off, cube it, and then render it very slowly in a large pot. However, there's another lard that comes from around the organs. And it looks much different and it's wider. It's very white. And traditionally it was used for making pies and things like that. The rendered pork fat was used for making pies. And but of course you can use this one here as well. It doesn't have to be the other one if you don't have anything else. But just to differentiate and tell you what is available. So we will see you a little bit later once I cube this all up. So welcome back. Now everything is cut up. Here we have our wonderful pork. It's all cut up and I took the skin off and then I cut the skin in little strips and we're going to make carnivore pork chips out of that one. And I'm going to fill the pork cubes, the fat cubes, into a pot and start it on very, very low heat on my stove. And then I'm going to show you how to do the chips. I'll be back. So here you can see the pork fat already starting to render. It will take quite a while because you want to do this really, really on low heat. So it takes quite a long time until it's done. You don't want to burn it, definitely not. So I'm back. I laid out all the little pork strips, the skins. They have a little bit of fat on them, so they bake up a little bit more crisp. And I laid them out on baking paper. I have a convection oven, so I cannot deal with the heat because it blows. It's a convection oven. So I'm putting a piece of baking paper on top, and then I'm gonna take another piece of I'm gonna put it a little sideways, and then I'm gonna put it in the oven and bake it. And I think I'm gonna try it 350 in the convection oven. You may want to do 400 in your oven if you have a regular one. So we'll see you back here. So we're back here with our wonderful organic free-range pork fat. I have rendered the pork fat and you can see it here. And I also strained it, and here are the little pork pieces, you know, the rendered ones. We're not going to throw those out. Now in Austria they are used as a filling. They're ground down, mixed with herbs and an egg, and then used in a filling in a potato dumpling. But we're not going to do that today, but we're putting them through the food processor to make them really small, and then we're going to mix them back in with our pork fat. Now what I've added to the pork fat yesterday, after I strained it, I will show you over here. I've added a clove of garlic chopped up, a couple of bay leaves crumbled, some thyme, and a few peppercorns. And I just infused this here. All that is in here right now. I put it in yesterday into the warm oil, turn the heat off, put a lid on, and then let it sit until today. And what you're doing today is we're going to strain this out and then fill it into jars, blend it with the pork pieces here. It's a little it makes a wonderful bread spread, and you can also use it for cooking, of course. You know, I start my steaks with it, so I don't use seed oils at all. So I start the steaks with the pork fat. Just to show you, over here I have my glasses ready. Here's some aromatic pork fat from before that I have made. Sorry about that. Yeah, and I made beautiful labels for it. You can do that on the computer or handwrite them with all the ingredients. And here's some cheesecloth to strain the pork fat. So we'll see you back here later. I'm back. Here we are all prepared. Here's our rendered pork fat. Here are the little bacon bits things, all made small in the food processor. And as you can see, I didn't make them to a crisp. I don't want a crisp. I want them a little smooth, and I'm filling them into this here. I will do that until it's done. I'm trying to work with one hand here. So I'm going to whisk them all in, and then when this is all done, I'm going to fill them into my jars. And do not fill the jars totally full, because I'm going to pressure can them in my all-American pressure canner, which is here. It looks much loved because I use it quite a bit. I've had it for about 4 years, and I'm going to link in the description where I got it from if you like it. And yeah, so we'll see you back here once we start canning. And also here are the strained out herbs that I was talking about, that I showed you before, in a cheesecloth. And you can reuse the cheesecloth, just wash it with soap and hang it up somewhere. Okay, so here we are. I'm put a new lid on this one here. Then I take a screw lid and I screw it down, but you only screw it down to the point where it just grips. Okay, when you feel a grip, you stop. Okay, like right now I'm trying to do this with one hand to show you. All the other ones are done already. I have them all in here. And here is my fantastic pot. I'm very happy with it. I use it quite a bit because you don't need to have a vacuum seal. You just screw it down. Okay, what we do now is we'll take the heavy lid here, we put the lid on, and we secure it. See, there's a little lip here. You can secure it, and then we shall screw it down totally tight. And I always do one side here, and then I do the opposite side here. Yeah, and so on and so on and so on until they're all done. Okay, and you can't do it on a gas stove. You have to do it on an electric stove. I'm just telling you. And now I'm going to turn my heat to high and wait until it starts boiling. When it starts boiling, the steam will escape through this little nozzle here. And once it escapes and it starts whistling, then you have to put the weight on. And here's the weight. And the weight has, as you can see, I'm going to show it to you a little bit better right here. It has 5, 10, and 15 pounds. And when I do meat, I always do 15 pounds, like I use this nozzle here. Okay, so I'll be back. So here you can see the steam coming out, and you hear it. That means it has come up to temperature. So what we do now is we take our weight. I'm gonna put it on 15 and stick it on there. And now you can see the temperature coming up on this temperature gauge here. And when it comes up to 15, which is straight up on the top, this here will start to wiggle like crazy. And then you can shut it off. Now people do this differently. Some of them turn the heat down and let it go for a longer time. But I find when you bring it up to temperature, whatever you do, and I do a lot of meats too, and you put it in a cold pot, bring it up to temperature, and then put the 15-pound on and wait until it wiggles up on the top, and then you have to leave it because you can't open the pot. It's under high pressure, so you would be hurting yourself if you tried to open the pot. So you just leave it, and then you wait until the gauge comes down to 0, and then you could actually open it up. But I never do. I always leave it until the next day, let it cool down completely, and then take it out. And then I'm assured that I have a real good seal. Okay? And also what I wanted to tell you, it's better to put that pot on an electric stove. You can also use a little electric whatever element, you can buy just one and plug it in. It's not so good, it's aluminum, so it's not so good on a gas stove. The gas stove is too hard on it. Okay? So I'll show you the finished product once we're done. Thank you. So we are back again, and you can hear it and see it, how the steam is coming out here. And it has reached the temperature of 15. And now what I do is I turn the heat off here on my stove. I turn the heat off and just let it calm down, and don't ever open it because you could hurt yourself horribly. It's under so much pressure, okay? So just let it cool down, and then we'll open it up when it's cooled down. Take the jars out, label them, and put them away. Okay? As I said, I'm going to leave the link to this fantastic pressure cooker down in the description. And I really recommend it. It's not cheap, but it's definitely worth it, especially if you want to can a lot, or if you want to have a full pantry, and if you don't want to rely on your freezers, because when the electricity goes, which could happen anywhere, then your freezers defrost, but your canned goods will all keep. Okay? So we'll see you when it's done. So here is the last section of our video. Here we have our wonderful aromatic free-range pork. You can see on the bottom is the stuff that it sank to the bottom, but you can mix it up if you want. It's the little bacon bits that I made small in a food processor, and here we are. And also I wanted to tell you, when you're done, take the weight off, because you don't want to have it on when you don't want to forget it up there when you do your next canning. Okay? Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.